Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to Crawlympics 2024. It is indeed week 6. 4 more into the breach. This one should be interesting. Many weeks up till now. Okay, two of the 5 weeks. I feel like we had a real variety pack. This week is kind of the opposite of that. It's not as big of a variety pack, at least from a mechanical standpoint. Because here we have our group on the day, from left to right: Lolo, Lord Pentabee, first of his name, the Missing Link. We don't use the, we just call him Missing Link. And closing out the group today will be Ms. Direction. So when looking across this motley crew, perhaps as motley looking as the crew of week 5, there's actually, Lolo aside, there is a huge amount of similarity going across from 2, 3, and 4. We will break that down here in somewhat quick-ish fashion by Canyon standards. And I would like to offer in advance, this group has a small handicap potentially. I think it is important that I mention it. During recording a couple days ago, it wasn't even a distraction. It was that, so on a tripod, it has 3 legs, hence its name, tripod, and then there's a centerpiece, and there's a part that I call the neck, which is right below the fluid head, and that is where I pick up a tripod from. But on that particular day, I was driving at the same time. I had a tripod clutched under one arm. I picked up the other tripod, and I had not picked it up by the neck. I had picked it up by a leg. So it was indeed this camera apparatus here, which has a field view monitor and a noise canceling microphone and a whole deal, and it's on a massive Avella fluid head. So the tripod weighs about 10 pounds and all the weight is at the top. So what happened was the head started to do this. It started to like that. So I did that thing, but with my body. I will exhibit with my hands, but with my body. I lunged like that to like get the weight back under my hand. And in doing so, I slammed 3 of the toes of my left foot into the little chunk of concrete that sticks out right by the Oblivion sign. Those toes are now shades of blue and purple, and I have not been able to bend them for 4 days. If they are not broken, then they are very close to it. And if they are broken, to anyone who has broken a toe, the swelling has gone down a good bit. If they are broken, do you know what you can do about it? Nothing. It's broken toes. Broken toes and broken ribs. They're pretty much like, well, you get to live with that now. So long as I step gingerly, and I don't step on anything that, so this is my foot, and if I step on anything that makes my toes go like that, I will make an ungentlemanly noise. I've been doing so for the past couple days because your brain kind of stops thinking about how bad your toes hurt, and you start walking in just a normal fashion, and then you will just put the tip of a toe like that on the ledge of something, and they'll go, and you go, and yeah, it's pretty great. We're unmedicated. We are shoeless. It is a Wheelin' Wednesday. We are here with Group 6, breaking it down left to right, beginning with Lolo. Lolo was built almost exclusively out of hand-me-downs, parts sent in to the canyon, etc., etc. It is got their name by virtue of the chassis being a high-low, a cut-up high-low. So it's a strange-looking chassis. The chassis had also been cut previously. The previous owner had bought the new and improved, updated high-low chassis, and donated these rails to me. And I just combined it with a bunch of parts. The other part of the low is it's fitted with a purple Amazon clone 2-low gearbox, Mias nylon axles. Those are J-Concepts ruptures on, I think they're standard offset 1.9 wheels. The body is, of course, painted by Curtis Knudsen from Instagram. It's everybody's favorite body, and I will lie to you now and say it doesn't sting at all when everybody says, oh, That body is the absolute best. The entire fleet here, Lolo included, runs on 3S power, and across the board, wait for it, this is what the whiners and there we go, that group, it goes fusion, 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 outrunner, because that's all we do here. We just put fusions in things, and the things that we don't put fusions in, we put outrunners. There is a Fusion SE 1800 inside Lolo. Servo duties are taken care of by the ubiquitous, is it a flash hobby? I'm going to crouch down and look. It is a flash hobby. Of either 50 or 60 kg, it is whatever I had on hand at the time. Lolo is a goer and a getter. It does remarkably well. It has an overdrive gear in the rear axle to take the net rear underdrive down to around 20%. It is just a column. It goes, before we move on to Lord Pentabee, it goes Radiolink RC4, 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 RC4. They are all RC4s, and 2 of the 4 are lucky enough to have Kimbrough KIM 134 scalloped wheel grips, misdirection, and Lord Pentabee, because Lord Pentabee shares Baseline's radio. It's like a Superman, Clark Kent, or a Peter Parker Spider-Man thing. You can't see Baseline and Lord Pentabee at the same time because they use the same radio. Are they the same person? Well, yeah, basically they're both built out of Enduro SEs. Oh, we're getting right into Lord Pentabee, first of his name, built pretty much exclusively for the purpose of testing tires of 4.45 inches and smaller. That is what he does. As was mentioned, he is an Enduro SE, which has the Stealth XF amidships. He is fitted, though, with SSD Diamond Pro axle housings configured in the Element configuration, so not high pinion. They are configured with all of the Element internals. He was bought that way. He was bought as the Enduro SE kit and a set of Diamond Pro housings and assembled as such. He runs the stock shocks, he runs the stock drive shafts. All of his links, his plastic links had to be replaced, not because we don't like plastic, but because we wanted to fit that body. And none of the factory links would allow us to fit that body, despite that the body nestled in quite perfectly between the factory bumpers. Like, in terms of aftermarket parts, he has some Trial knuckle weights up front. End of list. Once again, Hobbywing Fusion SE 1200 amidships on an XF gearbox, and it's got the Amazon Bronco that ranges in price anywhere from $70 to like $150. You just got to find one at the right time. And a $12 Amazon interior, hastily painted and hot glued in. And there you go. He's a test guy. He is how he got Pentabee. For those unfamiliar, 5 Bs. He was Baseline's baby brother, and then there were 2 more Bs. I don't know. It's been too long. He's Lord Pentabee now, first of his name. And he is, I mean, if we're calling SSD axle housings not Element, that's the part of him that's not Element. Lolo is a mishmash, Lord Pentabee is Element, and immediately to his left, your right, the missing link is, as Element it gets, the only non-Element part is wheels, tires, and body. He was built out of an idea. He is C-channel rails. He is IFS 2 in the front from Element, Stealth XF in the middle from Element, and the trailing arm rear end from an Ecto or a Zool in the rear. So basically, the Zool 2 is missing link, only there's a Stealth X inside of a Zool instead of an XF, and I built it like 4 months before the Zool 2 came out. So, I mean, you know, let's chalk it up to great minds thinking alike. That is a J Concepts Warlord cab-only body on there. Proline flat iron XLs on some very fiddly to build glow-backed. Glow-backed basically cloned the Boom Racing Pro build. That's what those are. You can build them to whatever offset you want. They come in some really cool colors, and to me, it seemed like a wheel that would fit him personality-wise quite perfectly. So we went through the arduous process of assembling those. Once again, in the middle, Fusion 1200 SE. Why wouldn't it be? Drivetrain-wise, Lord Pentabee and Missing Link are pretty much exactly the same thing. And in the spirit of pretty much exactly the same thing, closing out today's group, Ms. Direction, who is the cage and shocks of a Capra, and everything else is an Element Enduro. Element axles, Element links, Element drive shafts, Stealth X gearbox amidships. Beautiful, lovely supporter of the channel from, I want to say, the great state of Oklahoma. Sent in some adapter plates that he had designed and had cut at Send Cut Send that allows you to put an Element skid inside of a Capra cage. And what do I prefer over a full-on Capra? I prefer all Element bits under a Capra cage. It's more fun to drive. It's narrower, so it's more agile. It's just, did I mention more fun to drive? It's more fun to drive. Ms. Direction was built, just one of the titles of the episodes was This is a Misdirect, and she became Misdirection. Like it seems like the name they would give a powerboat. She went through so many different wheel and tire options before landing on 2.2 hot bodies HPI Rovers on some pretty generic Amazon 2.2 wheels, all blacked out with all black hardware. And she's pretty great. She's running the 12% underdrive from a Stealth XF. She's got I think she was mostly parts donated from a Gatekeeper kit, back when you could buy the Gatekeeper kit, which was one of the greats that Element did, so of course it is discontinued. There's a mismatch of discontinued old bits, cast-off bits, bits modified for their purpose. What we have here is not a lot of that sort of customization. There's not a lot of one-off bits here and there. You could build yourself a missing link pretty easily. You could definitely build Lord Pentabee. It would be a little tougher to build the two at the opposite ends, the two sort of open-er wheel individuals. I'm sure I'm forgetting some details on one or all of them because I'm just focusing on my toes kind of a little bit, but I debated about putting off the week and said, no, we're going to finish this. We're going to finish stage 1 before summer is over. And then stage 2 and 3 are probably going to take up the autumn. It's going to be fun to see if we can complete Crawlympics before the end of 2024. It's just one day a week of it. It's all the energy I've got. We're going to send them out. They're going to go in that exact order, moving from left to right, because we had a little argument on the way out here while Cardi B was transporting the crew. Missing link and misdirection, but it is MS, misdirection. If it was misdirection, she would go before missing link. But it isn't, so she's going to go last. The helicopter is going to pass over now. We'll get that out of the way quickly. I will set up the remainder of the. Let's see if we can catch him. I'm going to guess he's going to go right there. There he is. We did a pretty good job there. Straight over the house. Let's get these guys out. Let's get the cameras set up. We'll see if he passes back over before we finish filming on the day. First up is Lolo. The all 3S group. I mentioned all 3S group, right? Are we all direct power? No. Oh, that was the stuff I neglected to mention. Flash, Hobby, and Lolo. There is the 55 kg Sync Cam in Lord Pentabee. I have zero recollection of what is in Missing Link. And Misdirection is a 45 kg Flash Hobby. Yeah, I think that covers it. Let's get to the thing. All right, so the helicopter is doing the attention on the ground, which means there's like somebody's missing a kid or something. Usually there's a school right over here around the corner. The noise canceling microphones are unquestionably going to be good enough to knock out what that helicopter is saying. Add to that the fact that the helicopter's right over there, and I'm pointing in a direction that none of you can see, and I can't understand what it's saying, except I can hear attention on the ground, attention on the ground. But that's going to go the whole time we're out here, I'm quite sure. If they find who they're looking for, they will indeed fly directly over the house again on their way out. So Lolo, as I had mentioned before, drew the first straw, gets to go first. And in case I neglect to mention this, as I was throwing the batteries in, Missing Link is actually on a Fusion Pro. He's on the 2300 because he's like a little bit of a pre-runner vibe. and I had forgotten that swap had taken place. So it goes SE Pro Outrunner. And I never mentioned what's inside misdirection either. It's an AGI Innovations Ninja with a 1700 kV little 3530 Outrunner. Yeah, I'm going to forget a lot of things because there's little rocks strewn all over the ground, and I didn't broom it before I decided to run it. So everybody gets their 5-ish minutes. He's pretty snappy, Lolo. He's got his time, and that starts now. So that also gets to mean that he gets to be web cleaner. Good steer angle there. Oh, you want to talk about what the course looks like and how we just go inside and pretend that nothing happened? Somebody knocked that block loose, and it's still there, and we haven't moved it, so everybody gets to dodge it. Okay, Lolo is among the elites in terms of the rock crawling population here of the canyon fleet. That was so sharp. Okay, Lolo on clean is going to be tough. First lap tends to be the feel out lap. We have definitely stated in the past that lap 2 is almost exclusively the fast lap. I have not seen a single rig post up best time on like lap 4 or 5, because you get the clean one in the books, you feel like, oh, okay, no. This guy is going to get time after the timer expires, because I'm going to come around over here. That block is just out in the middle now, and he went face first and came to a complete stop. So his fastest lap will most certainly not be lap 2. Now they're picking up the trash. All we need is a container truck to come in and drop off a container, and we'll have all. I almost just walked into camera 2. Yeah, he is gonna kill this. He gets at least one full extra lap after expiration of time, because I can't drive and go out there and get that block at the same time. Oh, he feels so good. Of everybody so far, the pointiest and the shootiest. Fastest? Now that I don't know. It's impossible to tell. That steer angle is element sharp. Okay, and we have broken. I see the drive shaft hanging. He was disarmed and disabled by the teeter. So that's not, no. We don't do mulligans, but today, you know what we're doing? We're doing a mulligan. Because Lolo is so skid forward, I can't, and not just so skid forward, because the amount of pinion angle change is so huge, he can't run a cut-to-length drive shaft. So he's running an old Traxxas Slash drive shaft, and it has been popped apart so many times that it no longer kind of holds together well. So when he bound up coming off the teeter, it just popped it apart. So he's going to get a completely different drive shaft installed, and then he's going to come out and he's going to go after the rest of the group because he just got treated unfairly. So Lord Pentabee is up, and the speed differential between that 1800 and this 1200 is substantial. And we're class 1s and hard body. Lord Pentabee, as we say, just do your best, man. So it has popped up as an alert on my watch about 7 times at this point. Attention on the ground, attention on the ground. Found toddler. So I don't know why they're over, like, how would they, did the toddler tell them I'm from over there? I don't know how they decide what neighborhood they're going to fly over. This is a radically different experience. I have not stepped on anything uneven enough to blind me with discomfort yet. Oh, the Lord is doing it. Ooh. Oh. This is a body size issue that we're experiencing here. This is really big compared to the coyote that is on Lolo. We'll make an effort. Oh, he's definitely got some weight. So, those who keep track of such things, has the teeter taken out more people? And I mean that physically. That's the point where Jake's suspension link was shoved through his tire. It is super dry out here on the course, and Lord Pentabee is just handling it. He can't find the right... Okay, this is tuck in there. All right, he's got that spot down. His suspension is looking real good, all stock. And I mean stock, like I don't even know if I refilled the shocks. Ooh, got class 1 a little there. Came in too tight here and got the body hung up. Did not come through too tight this time. Very good. Got stuck on a crispy, crunchy donut. These are pivots, yes? Did I mention pivots? The pivots are doing the work. He's just smooth. There's another alert to my phone about a found toddler. He's not even getting the push out on the real loose stuff here coming around the knot of trees. And minimal dust kicked when he comes up over the top. He gets up that's an aluminum camp table. The approach, the lead in up to the skewers. He has no problem with that at all. I think honestly, I gripe about sliders a lot because more often than not, they don't. They just catch on things. The slider for him are his body mounts. We've got 2 3mm set screws and then 2 big, oh, they found whoever. Chopper's headed out. And we've got 2 of the big Traxxas like servo mounting screws. That's his body mounting. So because it keeps that body tucked in so tight, the slider body interface there, I mean, it does the work. He doesn't get hung up on stuff. So the sliders on Lord Pentabee are, brace yourself for this one, sliders. He can actually slide off of things. He's got that steering response that's brought together by the marriage of SSD and element. Can get in nice and tight here. It's just, in this number of times around, we never really found, yeah, there it is. Found this spot, can kill through there. Didn't really find the entry exit out of the skewers that didn't remind him how small his tires are. He really slides through easily. The XF is a gearbox that is one of the, how British can I get on it? One of the innovative things that Element has done in recent memory, and no one can explain to me successfully why it isn't fitted in more vehicles. It comes in the 2 SE vehicles and it comes in the Zool 2. And that's it. They're still pushing models out with the regular Stealth X. I don't get it. We've got about 15 seconds remaining. That was oh baby. Right as my lips tried to form the words, that was a pretty straightforward, uneventful pass through. He tried to fall off. No, right into his spot. Real nice. Timer elapsed. That's probably a mid-pack showing, honestly. And I mean, let's call it like it is. A pro, the Fusion Pro, isn't an advantage here. I'm not sure it is, because I don't think wheel speed is where it's at. It's What is it? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast? That's what we're looking for out here. He's definitely got the power. What he doesn't have is clearance. Have we run IFS out here, period? Like, has Ruby run out here? I don't think so. Has Missing Link run out here? I don't remember. It's all a blur. So Missing Link stepping up with his 5 minutes, having never run here, having, I think, inarguably the worst ground clearance of the group, even though the gentleman who just ran is on class 1s. My toes so far, if anyone's wondering, pretty good. There's another one. I can't even get to the timer most of the time because the constant neighborhood app notifications. Ooh, ooh. Off. Okay. All right, hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, he's not going to put up a good time. I can tell you this. That was his front bumper getting stuck on a rock. Not stuck. Stuck like a fish hook. And then, okay, here we go. Coming back. Yeah, he's got to... Oh. If y'all can hear me, that's the search and rescue helicopter. And followed by the police helicopter. I know the microphone is pretty good at it and will block out a lot of it, but I can't even hear myself. I can't hear the rigs. I can't hear myself think. Okay, here's the deal. We're pretty pre-runnery on Missing Link, but he is overall set up like a rock crawler. So there are moments when the rear end feels absolutely gone. Oh, I don't know. I think we might have gotten a negging in place because I was like, he's not going to put up a good time, and he was like, I'll show you. The rear end, there's push in the front because the rear end is so loose. And I keep having to reposition. That's why, see, this stuff right here. This is why I think he ultimately won't get an amazing time. The amount of repositioning that has to be done because the rear end is just squirting out. Like, he's got the little fake fuel cell back there. We need to fill that thing with like lead shot for this. He's basically, I mean, he's four-wheel drive, obviously, but he feels more front-wheel drive. That was his first time that he didn't just get clean through the skewers. Every time he's been exceptionally wide right here. So it's just these, you know, this is definitely a game of seconds. And then my watch vibrates because he's been off course, I think, 4 times, which means he definitely has the velocity. But like climbing this, it feels like there's no traction from the rear axle at all. Just so pushy. Oh, right there, that was got caught on nothing. Yeah, and stepped on a little rock there that I didn't like. Just keep driving. Just keep driving. Can we get tight enough? Oh yeah. I mean, you give me infinite chances. Let's run a whole pack out. Yeah, maybe we can do something. But you get caught for that amount of time, that could be the difference between 3rd place and 14th place. Just there. Yeah. His inability to keep it tight enough. You got to use maximum think force to get up the teeter with this. He is going to cross the line right at elapsed. Yeah, we get the vibration there. I don't know. He is potentially leader among the group of... I have no ability to tell you what that time was. Was he slow? Was he fast? He felt absolutely all over the place. Now, Misdirection is big ol' rovers and an outrunner. She's pretty light, like she's deceptively light because she's lighter than a Capra. She has lower PSI than anybody else out here by a significant margin because those tires are so wide. She is also, if memory serves, and you know, it does all blur together, she is one of the fastest in the pre-Crawlympics times. So, she's a good one to close on. She is we're resting a lot of hopes on this gal. And I got to keep reminding myself we have to go again because Lolo needs to go again. Yeah, her turn in is... Okay. All right. She's already broken. She's already broken. Drive shaft is apart. Which leads me to believe, honestly, let me see, is there even a screw in it? Yeah, there's still a screw. Did it twist the end? Yeah, it just ripped the end out of the stock element plastic drive shaft. So, she didn't get 10 seconds in. We have 2 drive shaft failures that are... I checked through everybody. I did the usual thing. Lolo and Misdirection are going to go again. So we are going to field repair, which actually means heading all the way back into the shop because they need drive shaft. Like her drive shaft has to come out and be repaired. I should have taken the week off. It's easy for me to say this, but I have no issue with running Misdirection and Lolo out again because it was the identical mechanical failure. Axle side attachment of the front drive shaft, both completely worn out. Her drive shaft has been, basically the screw had unthreaded and was all the way unthreaded. And she finally got her front end knocked to a point where it drooped out enough that it just fell apart. And his had been re-put together so many times that it was just worn out. So they get the one mechanical. I think everybody should... I'm trying to think back. Of the previous 20 that have run, did anybody have like a near immediate mechanical and failed? No, like it's been like damage. Like if you get damaged, then you're done. If you stick a suspension link through your tire, that's the end of your day. But both of these guys were basically ready to fail before we even got out here. I don't know why I'm justifying it. I make the built the course, I make the rules, I do what I want. 5 minutes. She is so absurdly sure-footed. Let's see through here. Okay. Everybody coming through there, their first time through is basically finding out where are your tires going to clear. Okay, that's really bad. That's really bad. Okay. That took so long to get through there. We're going to ignore the fact that she didn't actually pass around the tennis ball because it's not If this is her fastest lap, then her day was doomed before she set foot on the course. Oh, she could be proper fast. And if you don't hug the tree, you're out. Yeah, that's a bad lap. That's a really bad lap. She likes left-hand side. Okay, don't get it twisted here. Stay in. Stay in. Little loosey-goosey there. Almost just stepped in a gopher hole. And when I say gopher hole, I mean hole big enough for my entire foot to go in. Now I'm worried she's gonna like lose a tire or something. Yeah, she feels... Okay, yeah. How do you know you're running the same exact line? You get stuck in the exact same spot twice. She has, surprisingly, she has a lot of surplus throttle. Oh. Feels effortless. She just gets a little over bouncy in some spots. And off course. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Above Jake, above Argenum, and that counts. She got to, let's not employ that as a meta. Okay, she was all the way at the end, fell off, therefore didn't have to wait for the teeter to come down, but she had a reset. So again, not going to be the fastest lap, doesn't have a chance to be. Misdirection is an absolute heartbreaker today. She has put together, there it goes again. She has put together segments that if you piece those segments together, she would have a blistering lap. Like, this is a non-canon lap as well. Maybe something in the 40s, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. There's no consistency in driver performance all the way around the course. She is going to have the laps that on the time, and I know it's tough for me to make these judgments because it's really difficult to determine what's working and what isn't while you're doing this many things at once. But I feel like she's going to have the most disappointing laps. Like she's going to finish in like 11th overall. And despite having just... When she gets segments or sectors, whatever we choose to call them, when she gets them clean, she's as fast as anyone. But she is also the most race car feel. That you feel like there's time that could be picked up and there's time to be Has she made it around one time without falling off the teeter-totter? I don't think she did. You get the dust on the Rovers and she is violently out of shape. So, in terms of sectors, if we're looking at this from a sector perspective and not a lap perspective, she did better than anything. Like, I felt speed and power. But I don't think we're going to see speed and power because I don't think she had a single lap with without 2 dirty sectors. 2 dirty sectors, and that's going to be more than enough. This is going to be disappointing times. Lolo has an advantage, but he's riding on the razor's edge. We changed the yoke, but that doesn't change the DNA of the drive shaft. So we could very well bite that thing in and pop the drive shaft off again. I have gotten, so I run a stopwatch on my watch to time these, and I also get notifications to my watch. I didn't put my watch in Do Not Disturb. In the recording of this, I have gotten no less than 50 notifications to my watch. The notifications have the same buzz as the stopwatch. So, I have looked at my watch so many times. How many seconds, tenths of seconds, full seconds, multiples of seconds have been added negatively to vehicles' times because I'm looking at my watch, looking at my watch, looking at my watch. Okay, Lolo here benefiting, getting to go first and last. But his break should not have been a break, or his mechanical failure should not have been a failure. So we're going to give you 5-ish minutes. Oh my goodness. I don't believe that I have ever driven Lolo and Misdirection in immediate succession as I'm doing right now. Yes, they are perhaps the 2 most dissimilar of the entrants today. The difference in feel is, I don't know how to quantify it. Okay, we'll see if the teeter puts him apart again. I don't know if the teeter is dusty. I don't know what it is, but everybody this week is having, uh-oh. For a second there, it didn't look like the teeter was going to reset. Okay, now he feels really, really fast. And fast from a perspective of, oh no. I don't feel like we're using that much throttle. Okay. So that drive shaft popping out, it happened at a different spot on the course. Yeah, it was the teeter that finally knocked it out. I think it was the skewers that initiated that process. Because when he got through there, I could see the front end being twisted around. Like the whole front. Like it was twisting his axle. Oh, that was gorgeous. Just keep it together, guy. Keep it together. Don't get it bound up. Don't run into the tripod. Okay, this feels fast. Whew. I know that was probably rubber on rubber. Nevertheless, the sound there coming through the skewers was unfriendly. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, that was shiny and smooth. Okay, there's only a couple more spots to mess up. So I'm sure I will manage it. To mess up, that is. Okay. You know how I say often, I can't tell what just happened? If that wasn't, at the very least, the fast lap on the day, I will be astonished. I think Lolo may also indeed well be looking at one of the fast laps for the contest. I don't know how fast. Will he unseat Jake? I don't know. Why did I miss the totter after all the perfects? Watch vibrated. Okay, I gotta train myself. So when the stopwatch goes off, it vibrates a lot, and it vibrates until you push the button to make it stop. I think the little alert must go off for like 30 seconds. Just don't look at the watch, whatever you do. Don't look at the watch until you feel a long sequence of burp, 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 burp. I can't believe he glided through that and then stuffed it in. He had been so effortless on tree turn right there. I also feel like has he been around a lot? I feel like he's done some absolute laps. And we are still well inside the 5 minutes. He has had the near perfect runs onto the teeter, save for one time we had to do a little steering cutback. But other than that, holy moly. He is going to cross the line here. I got to look down with about 10 seconds left on the timer, which means fast. Oh, he fell, and the timer goes off right as he pulls into his bay. So let me tell you, everything was going fine. We had been blue toe free for the whole day, and when I went to grab camera 1, which is that guy right there hanging out in Cardi B now, I stepped right on a rock, right in that little spot between the foot and the toes, and it felt like somebody shot me in the foot. So we made it through largely unscathed, and I mean that in terms of both myself and the crew over there. I was trying to think of things unthought while out wheeling, and I can't remember what I've neglected to mention about the respective vehicles. I don't know. I don't know. Do I consider unfair that both Misdirection and Lolo got mulligans on the day? I don't, because if someone else previously had a drive shaft just pop apart early in the thing, we would have just put the drive shaft back together and they would have gotten to run again. They also barely made it. Like when Lolo hit that, it's right at the corner of the frame, that right there. When he hit that, something happened to him because he was not the same. And I wasn't even looking. I wasn't looking that, or I wasn't looking. Okay, so imagine this is the down. It was right here. I was looking way over here, over there, out of frame. I'm already looking at like the next obstacle that he's going to go into. So I didn't see that thing at all. And I just popped it. And it did not serve him well. It served none of us well. I tried to do a little bit of speculation and see if I'm right or wrong. To me, Misdirection did above halfway on the pack. This was group 6, so we will have 24 on the leaderboard. She is going to be on the first page. The leaderboard will be now up to 3 pages. I haven't figured out a way to configure the little chart to get more than 10 on a page. They try to fall off the page. Misdirection is on the first page. I think Lord Pentabee is out of the top 10. I think Missing Link is out of the top 10. Despite the fact that Misdirection didn't have any one lap that was like a blowaway, I think she was so fast through the sections that she was good. I think Lolo was faster. I think Lolo was fast man on the day. But I think on the right lap, in the right conditions, when the pieces fall together, I think of this 4, Misdirection is the fastest. She could beat them all. And it's not just tire, it's that these 4 are definitely all their own thing. I almost said 3 because Lord Pentabee is a hard-bodied Enduro SE. He did great for what he is. For a hard body in Class 1s, I think he's going to be up there. If we're looking at it by that. But we're doing this almost more like a Le Mans style. This stage 1 is the qualifying stage, basically to see how and where people will be grouped for stage 2, which is this. It is Deadline, which starts over here behind me and goes all the way out over the end of Deadline is way over there. I think the total run, we will measure it, we will break it all down, we will look at where the sectors are, we'll try to name some sectors on it. I know it's over 70 feet long, it's around 80 feet long for the entirety of Deadline, and the goal is stay on, because if you fall off, technically you're supposed to return to the beginning. We're not going to have that kind of time. I still haven't managed to get me a household genetically common cameraman, if you know what I mean by that, because their sleep schedules are, like, they're not awake yet, neither of them, and I'm usually done filming before they wake up. So unless we string multiple strings of lights above the top of Deadline and run it at night, and now that I've said it, I gotta tell you, it sounds way less crazy, because running Deadline at night almost seems like it would be great. I do have 3 boxes of Costco lights. We'll see. That's still, what did I say we've got? 11 groups? We've still got 5 more groups to run here in stage 1 at Mavericks, which means 5 more weeks. Can I have Deadline sorted out and cleaned out and lit in 5 weeks? I would hope so. But first, what I've got to do is I've got to take these folks back inside, clean them up, make sure that I've turned the radios off, which is a thing I struggle with weekly. Get everybody put back in their places, get the cameras put away, clean up, tear down. We started at about 7:15 through the initiation of this. That is making sure batteries are charged, making sure everything was good except obviously a couple of front drive shafts. Getting everything loaded onto Cardi B, bringing it out here. It is now 9 a.m. So that's about right. Hour 45 to 2 hours. With the cleanup, about another 15 minutes, be about 2 hours. Edit of this will take, if I'm crispy and I'm clicking, it's a 2.5 hour edit on this. An installment of Crawlympics on Wheelin' Wednesday is typically about a 5 hour affair, in between eating and moving around and I don't count like transitional periods. Like, I'm not going to count the time between when I shut this camera down and I load these. Like, I don't count that time really. I count production time, even though that's part of the production time. Anyway, it's a 5 to 6 hour affair to get one of these done. Nobody watches it, so shout out to all of you loyal few that are both fans of Wheelin' Wednesday and fans of Crawlympics. Crawlympics as a series has gotten potentially more dislikes across the board than any other series that I've done in the past. And I just sit and I stare at the screen and I go, what is it inside of a person? What is it inside them that makes them hate something else someone made? Something that someone put time and effort into, and the time and edit spent color matching and cutting together camera angles and syncing audio and doing all of that, and this is me filling in with the products of my own mind, someone out there who is making nothing and has nothing better to do in their day than whine about something that someone else made. Well, the gnats are flying in my ears, so maybe they're having an effect here. So I'm going to bid you all adieu here from Crawler Canyon, from Wheelin' Wednesday, from Crawlympics 2024. We have passed the halfway point. We passed the Rubicon long ago. We've gone too far. We can't go back. We got to keep going. So we're going to get to the end of this, and then we're going to move on to stage 2, and then stage 3, and stage 4, and stage 5. And then we will crown, I guess, who is kind of a winner. Do we think that there's one rig that's best suited to do all of these things? I mean, let's be honest, yes. Do we think that the rig that does the best out here is going to win the whole thing? I don't know. Maybe. Could be. Possibly. Anything can happen. We'll see if by the end of Crawlympics, we'll see if that pile of rubble and the wheelbarrows and the tools are gone. We'll see. You never know. It's too hot. It's already hot. I will see you in the next one. I hope that in between now and then, you one and all do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We'll see you again here from the canyon real soon. For those of you who are not throwing dislikes on it, thank you so very much. For those who are, why are you here? Why are you here? There's over 1,000 videos here, and if nothing else, we are consistent. Ooh, lizard. I'll see you next time, everybody. We're going to go